RingVille episode, David Asesino Martinez.
Hey, what's up everyone? How you doing? My name is Kevin Herrera Sanchez, and today I have the absolute pleasure of sitting down with
David Asesino Martinez.
Oh shit, there you go. The last real shooter?
Yes, sir.
The body assassin?
Yes, sir.
The Latin Saint?
Kinda. That was like a debut thing, and then we kind of stepped away from it.
You stepped away from it.
Yeah, it's corny. Just gotta take it out the bio.
I'm okay. Well, how you doing, man?
Tired. Good. Just staying busy.
Mm-hmm.
More and more bookings, which is a blessing, but it's not just all fun. It's definitely work, but I love it. It's fun.
You have to, right?
Yeah. There's a little bit of hate in there in the sense of like you hate training, you hate getting up in the morning, you hate doing it, but then you keep doing it because you love it, and that's what it's all about. So, yeah.
Appreciate you sitting down here with me.
Of course,
Like,
it's nice.
Thank you. Yeah, they can't see no that, but yeah. Well, I think one of the first things I kind of want to jump into is you're the former TWF, which is Total Wrestling Federation Television Champion.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry to just start this on a downer.
Yeah, that was tough. Wow.
I'm sorry. Of course, you lost it to Giga Herrera. And it's like, where's your mind at now?
I haven't really addressed that. No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It wasn't so much that I lost it. It was, I guess, it was how I lost it. You know, I mean, the guy. It started off quick. If you go back and watch it, I get a headbutt before the match starts. Drops me with this mini heel kick and almost finished me there in the first minute of the match. But I mean, he ran around telling everyone he needed it. He ran around telling everyone that this is for him, that he has to do this, that his clock is ticking, and proved that right. But it was the part where I got put to sleep in front of what I think are my fans, and then hearing that crowd, they're happy for him, and so it was his moment. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but don't know how I feel about that. You know, I pride myself on that shooter name, so I might have to do something about that.
Yeah. You're good. Like, well, to kind of uplift it more, where it's like, what was your time as champion like?
It was great. It was great for me. It was, I've made it known, like, for me, this was about my family. You know, I have a daughter now. You know, she's 9 months, and she was kind of the whole reason I got into this. You know, was I want my daughter to know that her father's not a loser. So I was going to do whatever it takes to show that. So being able to win that title, take it home to her, whether she knows what it means or not, it was the greatest blessing. And then every day, you know, every show, every night, going out there competing with it, for it, you know, against some tough people. Giga's had his chance. As a matter of fact, he came very close the last time, so I gave him another chance, and he knocked out the ballpark. But just representing also TWF as the workhorse, that's what I pride myself on. So it was definitely surreal to kind of have that, you know, especially, you know, I went in a lot of matches. I'm scared of heights. That's not. So, goes to show you what I'm willing to do to get what I need. You know?
Was that your first ladder match?
It's my first and only ladder match.
First
and
and
I'm
only?
hoping it stays that way. I'm a shooter. I'm an amateur wrestler. I'm a to the mat kind of guy. Things need to stay down here, not up there. I'm also 5'5", so I don't need heights are already a problem as it is. So no, it was awesome. Won it in a little bit of a tug of war at the top with Dave Wasted, a guy that to me, he kind of marked a difference in my career because I went one-on-one with him, and for the first time back in March of 23, I believe. Okay. And I think that's what I really showed people, like, hey, I can hang with just about anybody. Yeah. And Dave's one of the top guys around here. You know, he's living it up right now on vacation with his wife. He'll be back, hopefully, because, I want to run that back, a one-on-one, because the first time he beat me, and it was get a little back and forth. The second time I thought I had him beat, he narrowly escaped with the TV title, and then he decided to do an open challenge ladder match, and I was one of the first ones to answer it, and it came down to him and I up top there, and I wasn't letting that go.
No,
So
absolutely not.
yeah.
What was your approach knowing that you're gonna go into a ladder match?
Stay out the way, avoid getting hit with the ladder, and that didn't. That hurts,
Yeah.
but it was just telling myself, reminding myself, what am I doing this for? Unfortunately, it was kind of past my daughter's curfew, so she was asleep already back at home. But I just remember my daughter, and that's what I have to do this for. So if I gotta climb a ladder, if I gotta fall off a ladder, get hit with a ladder, whatever it may be, I'll do it. Whatever. There was no hesitation about it. Once you're up, once the match gets going, you're up climbing. That's all that matters. You don't care about how you're coming down, as long as you're coming down
With the title.
with the title.
Absolutely. I see you got your David Asesino
Yeah,
Martinez.
gotta represent, gotta show it off.
Absolutely,
Gotta show it off.
for sure. It's where did Asesino come from?
Flaco, my partner Flaco, in the Lucha Libre Mafia. It kind of just happened. I mean, he knows I'm a shooter, and he was like, "Well, you're a shooter, assassin." And the original name was Asesino Sagrado, which is Sacred Assassin, and I think I said that right. And I liked it. It was nice, but my biggest thing was I had to go out there and let the people know Martinez is my last name. Represent my father. And it just Asesino Martinez stuck with me for a while, and then David came back because for a while, I was refereeing, and then when I made my debut, 2-3 matches in, Flaco decided, hey, I got these guys who are a bit of a problem, and I'd like to be my tag team partner. And I told him, yeah, and to return the favor, I told him I'd embrace the Lucha Libre spirit and go on a mask. And so for a while I was with the mask, Asesino Martinez, and it just kind of stuck. It kind of stuck. Somehow, people remember that more than they remember David. I think it's still hard for me to say sometimes, but I ran with it, I like it, So it's just, he blessed me with that name, and I mean the guy's done so much for me, so I can't step away from it, honestly.
What was transitioning from ref to wrestler? Right. What was that like for you?
Exciting.
Exciting?
Yeah. I love being a ref in the sense of like I'm in the ring, I'm in front of a crowd. And even as a referee, I seem to have gathered attention from from the fans and the audience. They'd always, hey, when are you gonna debut? When are you gonna wrestle? I'm like, I've been asking the same thing, give it time, give it time.
Yeah.
And to have made my debut, it was just exciting because it's as good as a referee as I was. I'll give myself that credit.
You gave yourself a little.
Hell yeah. It's not what I want to do. I want to compete. I want to be a pro wrestler, and so to get the word that I was going to be able to make that transition. My coach Hayashi, gave me his blessing, so I was excited, and I said it. From the second I made my debut, even in losing effort, I told everyone I was going to be the biggest problem, and I think I have been. I told everyone respectfully, I'm here to take spots, I'm here to take names, and I'm here to create my own. And I think that was the exciting part.
Yeah.
It was just seeing, and you would think there'd be some hey, no, you're not doing that. There was a lot of people who were rooting for me. A lot of people in that locker room that were excited for me. So
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
To feel that support.
Yeah, definitely. There's some enemies, some people that kind of envious, but we don't talk about those.
Yeah. You're also the Open Challenge Champion for California Wrestling Association.
That's yes, it's been great representing the California wrestling. They I don't know, they had a weird faith in me that I didn't see coming. I haven't made the biggest fans of people there because I ride with the 209 there, and whether I like those guys or not, I'm all about doing business.
Yeah.
And business was showing that I had to join with them. They asked for me. Freeman couldn't make it to. He was dealing with some legal issues.
Okay.
So I stepped up, and ever since then we just kind of, no pun intended, kind of just clicked. We don't get along all the time. We always bicker and fight, but having the California Wrestling Association, the Open Challenge title was awesome because exactly who I am. I'm very big on it. Whoever wants it, come get it. Whoever wants to fight, I'm down. You know, no, don't be deceived by the hype. I can go with just about anybody. And when the opportunity came for me to answer the challenge, I answered it. Johnny Quill was the champion. He had a receipt coming. He got his receipt. And in that same match, I was able to say that I beat Daniel Torch and Drake Frost, future Hall of Famers in our area. And these are guys that I watched when I was 13, you know, coming to indie shows. And so, yeah, unfortunately, they, you know, they have to say that. And the record book shows they lost to me. Okay? Regardless of any funny business people might talk about, I won the match. And that title's not going nowhere. It belongs to the 209. It belongs to me. And it's not going anywhere for a long time. I'm going to continue to stop people. But the challenge is still open to anybody to take it. I'm ready. Anyone who steps up will get put down. It's just that simple. I just want to make that known. No running away from here, okay? I got you. I'm here. You know where to find me.
There you go. You brought up Kliq 209, and you also brought up Lucha Libre Mafia.
Yeah.
There's we were talking a little bit off camera, and then also just how like sometimes when you go to shows there's some confusion as to like who you're with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it gets a little messy. It gets a little messy. Not as, you know, it's kind of like the girlfriend side chick kind of thing. You gotta like, hold up, let me explain this. It's not what you think, you know.
That's great.
Very simple. I'm not the biggest fan of 209 Kliq. Michael Sean's an asshole.
Yeah.
Freeman's crazy. CJ, he's a character. He's definitely, you know, Source cool. He's an OG. We have the same background. But his son's a bit out there. He's a little crazy. Loose Canyon. I like the kid though. He got a good head on his shoulders. Just crazy.
Yeah.
He's definitely a crazy one. But man, he takes his hits. But I'm just about business. Even as a referee though, when I would go to Fresno, Atwaters, you know, Ceres, all these little towns, for some reason they just didn't receive me well. Even as a referee, I did my job fair, called it down the middle. Fortunately, some of the guys they liked just weren't good enough to get the job done certain nights. It happens. I just lost the title myself. It happens. So yeah, I was on the receiving end sometimes of just heat with the crowd. It happens, but started coming around when I'd go to shows on reffing, and then just, you know, I'd go to shows just hoping to get an opportunity. And I take problem when people say the 209 sucks. I take problem when I hear people say Stockton sucks. We may not be the best city in terms of attractions and whatnot, but we are a city of grit. We're mean people for a very good reason. And so again, when I got the phone call to come along and help them, yeah, of course. You know, they may not like me, but they know I'm about handling business. And they know I'm about, you know, if I gotta hurt a person, hurt a person. As for Lucha Libre Mafia, again, Flaco came to me and I went to a couple of his seminars when he was coaching, and we just got along well. You know, TWF, he would ask me, hey man, I like your work, can you ref my match? I could trust you, call it down the middle. And we just kind of clicked. Everything was going good. It's just things are getting rocky now because unfortunately, yeah, I'm with 209 Kliq. Flaco's right now the TWF champion, and 209 Kliq wants that title back. So I kind of get put in the middle. I just want what's best at the end of the night for my daughter. That crowd, that TWF crowd, they accepted me for the most part. Again, my last match, I don't know what's happening there. You know, crowd kind of surprised me there. But it's just that simple. TWF, I'm loyal to that fan base. I'm loyal to that crowd. Anyone's outside, you know, when I'm with the 209 Kliq and I'm wrestling outside, you know, when I'm in Fresno, when I'm in Ceres, Atwater, I'm fighting on behalf of those guys. You know, those guys, that fan base, that roster. I'm representing, because TWF, you know, people try throwing us under the bus, and we're not taking it. You know, so on behalf of them, you know, may not like who I'm with, and I understand that, but I'm handling business, and I think I'm representing as well. I mean, I got a title, become a title all the time, so it has to mean something. You know, as for anyone who takes issues with what I'm doing, they're more than welcome to speak on it. sure I'm gonna hear something soon at the next show, but
Just wait on it.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
wait on now. When we were talking before, where you have an amateur background,
Yes.
and you said that you started amateur wrestling with kind of like the end goal of becoming a pro wrestler.
Yes.
How much has that helped you in pro wrestling?
A lot. A lot. I started wrestling back when I was in 8th grade, and just, my coaches always make jokes like, oh, what, you thought you were coming in with the luchador mask? I was like, no, I knew I came in here. I knew I was going to wear these giant earmuffs and all this weird stuff, but I was always a fan of just like technical wrestling, to the mat, the grittiness of it, and so seeing guys like Kurt Angle, Chad Gable, and etc. Like, to me, I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. Like that to me is legitimacy. That to me shows people, because people have this weird idea when it comes to pro wrestling that it's all like this funny business, and it's like, no, these guys get down too. Don't let it fool you. There ain't nothing silly going on. These guys are some tough people, so I want to be that much tougher.
Okay.
So coming in, my first day of training, and it's not to brag, I learned a couple things that takes people months. It took me my first day, but that was just because of my background, knowing how to control my body, knowing how to utilize my hips, things like that, so it's very important when you're getting slammed, you need to know how to land to make sure you're kicking out at the end of the day, before that 3 count. So these things all just came kind of naturally because of my amateur background, and it's definitely helped me build some respect coming back there. I'm a small guy, but people kind of don't tempt me because they know, hey, this guy, what up? He can get down. Yeah, and I wrestled all up and down California when I was in amateur wrestling, taking, 5th at state, at freestyle state, and 7th in Greco state.
Okay.
Folk style state is, we don't talk about that, seasonal state, a 3-time Masters qualifier, match away from state there, but, and now I coach. Now I coach wrestling, so I'm still very active in amateur wrestling. Yeah. So I'm always, even now, I'm still learning more things so I can teach my kids. So if I can't get the job done, I got, some state qualifiers who can come and back me up. So it's helped me out a whole lot, and it's really beautiful to see, when we're going over certain things in training. I'm like, yo, hold up! I remember learning this back in amateur wrestling. Let me show you how to, let me put this little spin on it. So that's been great. It's been fun.
In one of your matches, I saw that you hit a curb stomp.
Yeah.
Are you a big Seth Rollins fan?
Yeah. I was when the show first came up and all that. You seemed like, Roman was the powerhouse, so he got that attention.
Yeah.
Ambrose was great on the mic, and he was just kind of out there. Seth Rollins kind of seemed like he wasn't getting his flowers sometimes. I was kind of always drawn to his. And then, he's going out there stomping people. How do you not? Yeah. That's mean, and I like that, everyone's like, why don't you, do a German as your, I was like, I like the curse stomp. It's mean, it's aggressive, so that's kind of how that came about. Yeah. But Rollins, I've always been a fan of Rollins, especially now it seems like he's doing everything he can to always just stay in the main picture,
and change.
Yeah, you can never forget about him.
Absolutely.
I might get in trouble from some of my trainers for saying this. I see him as like a modern day Macho Man, where it's like he's the guy who could be the guy, but then there's Hogan, and for Seth it's Roman, But when Roman steps away, Rollins can fill those shoes, kind of deal. Not in terms of persona, but even Rollins is always trying to push the pace on what pro wrestling can be, the same way Macho Man, I think, did. So.
Well, that's a really good comparison.
Might get in trouble for that. Sorry, Michael. Big old school guy. So.
Well, who are some other influences that you maybe are inspired by in the ring?
Eddie. I was a big fan of Eddie, just because, gimmick-wise, his character, his personality, I know people are like, oh, some people are offended by it, and that's fine. But to me, I'm like, it was hilarious, it was funny, but you could still go in the ring and be serious. So I was always kind of drawn to that. And I know when you think of Eddie, you're thinking frog splash, but I was always also thinking of the technical side of how he'd work a guy down. And just he was smooth with it. He was really quick. He had a different kind of like swagger to him. Another guy whose name is forbidden, if it has to be censored, I guess. But Benoit, you know, just the in-ring wise is what I'm talking about. Is he was someone that like my dad was like, dude, he's gritty, he's mean. And here my dad was like, he likes him as a wrestler. I want to wrestle like him.
Okay.
You know, I want everything to be mean. I want everything to be that, you know, put that little ump in it, you know. So he's someone else. In terms of modern day, Chad Gable. You could probably look at a lot of my stuff and be like, oh, I see where you got that from. Any amateur wrestler who decides to get in the ring, I'm like, oh, I'm still in that, I'm still in that, I'm still in that, you know. Respectfully. But yeah. So but those two, Eddie and Chris, like big standout for me.
Nice. You mentioned that you trained at Dragon's Den.
Yes.
What's that experience like for you?
An odd one, but a really good one.
Yeah.
Odd because I'm dealing with Freeman, I'm dealing with Michael Sean, and these are big personality guys. They're, you know, Freeman's out there. He's a madman. Michael reminds me a lot of my high school coach, where he knows his stuff. He doesn't have to go around telling people he knows his stuff, but he knows his stuff and he's going to tell you like it is. If you go to him for training, just like my coach, if you don't have the heart for it, he's not going to waste his time on you. But if you show that you give a damn, he'll put the effort in. And that's a straight shoot. I don't want to, you know, he's still an asshole, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But that's where we clicked right away. Things happen when I was a ref, that's why there's tension. But he when he did take me in, it was because he understood, like, this is what I want to do, this is what I love. And then Hayashi's like the odd one out in terms of like he's such a calm, very disciplined.
Complete 180.
Yeah. He's a weirdo too. We're all weirdos there, but he's, you know, very calm, chill. He has patience that even I don't have. Sometimes we get a new student, and he'll go over something again and again, and I'm just there like, can we stop? Can we please stop? This kid's not getting it. Let's move on. But he knows his stuff. You know, he's been around for a good while, and they all of them know their stuff. So it's fun though. It's something I've been to a couple other camps just visiting, and something that I'm very big on is at the Dragon's Den. We back each other for sure.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I may not be the biggest fan of Freeman. Let me hear a promoter, another trainer, someone running their mouth about him. I'm there. You know, same with Hayashi. I'm there. You know, Michael, I'm there. You know, Michael and Freeman both said, hey, when you go around places, don't let them know that we trained you. You know, Freeman doesn't consider himself a trainer, but Freeman helps me with like jiu-jitsu and whatnot. He's a shoot trainer, the shoot style of wrestling. So that's what I picked up some things from him. But yeah, they both tell me like, hey, Mike Hayashi trained you. Just Mike Hayashi. He has less enemies in the business. And I wasn't a fan of that. I was like, no, I'm going to go around telling everyone, Freeman, Michael Sean, and Mike Hayashi trained me. And I take, you know, whether we get along or not, they train me. You know, whether you like them or not, they train me. And I think they're doing, I mean, they did a good job. And not to brag, I think I'm doing a lot of things. Doing things right, you know, I'm doing things proper. And I'm blessed to have them around, even though they're who they are. But it's been a great experience, you know. Through that, I've met some other students who, you know, Paris Singh, he's up and coming, he's going to be great, athletic as hell. We just got one, I can't give away the name, but he's a big ass Samoan, and he's going to be a problem. He's definitely going to be a problem. Even someone like Giga, who, not the biggest fan of, but he's someone that I'm like, okay, well, we kind of balance each other out. You're right here? Okay, well, I'm going to get here. And, you know, go from there. So it's been great. It's been great. It's definitely a unique experience, though. Some crazy parties, too, in that. Yeah.
In one of your matches, after you scored the win and you were making your way out, there was a little girl who stopped you and just kind of asked for a picture. And then I just randomly off camera, or on camera, you kind of yell out, "This is what it's all about." And like, is that like a tie-in that with your daughter in the sense of like, this is why you do it?
Yes, and it took me a while to kind of realize that. I just had this conversation with Sean Hernandez. He was at our camp not too long ago, and he's another one of our coaches as well. When he comes down, takes over. And I never got into pro wrestling because I wanted people to chant my name. I never got into pro wrestling because I wanted to be everyone's favorite. I liked what happened in the ring. I liked the action. It wasn't until I got into business where I was like, oh, these people matter. Because you could do all the moves, you could do flashy things, jump off the rope, you could sacrifice your body. If they don't care, it means nothing. You know, so even when I'm pissing them off, I enjoy it because it's like, hey, you guys are reacting to me.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't matter what you can do. If they don't care about you, none of this matters. And then, so yeah, you know, but I definitely having some, you know, if it's the right little girl, because there's a little girl who comes to all my shows, she's a big fan. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, I make ties with my daughter in the sense of like, I want to show my daughter, hey, we can do things the right way. We can stand for something, we can fight for something, and that's what I want for my daughter. So having fans come up and like, hey, can I get a picture? And it's like, you don't even know me? You know, like this little girl, she's like, you know, oh, you know, she gave me a letter, I have it in my wallet, you know, you're my hero and all that. And there's part of me where I'm like, got the wrong hero, got the wrong guy, you know, but I'll pull that to the best of my ability. So yeah, it's what it's all about. Even if they're booing me, that's what it's all about. It's getting these guys to give a damn about you and what's going on in the ring, you know.
Because it's like, just the fact that she gave you a letter.
Yeah.
It's like, it shows the impact that you have.
Yeah, that one, that got me.
Yeah?
Yeah, that definitely got me, but she's a sweet little girl. She comes to all of our shows, her and her little boyfriend. I've met her mom. It's you know, it's, yeah. It comes down to it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. In your wrestling career, what are some of like your proudest accomplishments that you've had, big or small?
Honestly, the first thing that comes to my mind, as happy I am winning titles, you know, my debuts and all that. Biggest accomplishment was having my parents watch me for the first time. When I made my debut, they couldn't make it. My first couple matches, they couldn't make it. My father's was battling cancer at the time. Okay. And the first time they watched me was when Flaco had asked me, hey, I want you to help me take care of some of these guys. Just throw it out there. Those guys were Freeman and CJ. Okay. You know? But I got to, you know, win the tag team championships with Flaco. Him and I did that. And the one thing, I didn't, not to bury the legacy those titles have, but that was to me the smaller part of the aspect. It was being able to look in the crowd and having my parents give me a standing ovation. My father had just beaten cancer at that point, so to have him there, you know, his hair started to grow back and he's giving me a round of applause, that to me was, that was everything for me. Because, I mean, he's the reason I got into this. Him and my mother both have always like, this is what you want to do, you do it. You know, figure out how you're going to take care of bills and everything, figure out, but if you can make it happen, make it happen. They've been supporting me, so that was a big accomplishment. Whether anyone else seen it, to me that was everything, having them give me a standing ovation.
You know? Absolutely. Well, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm happy to hear that you're dedicated.
Yes.
Well, you know, truly appreciate you taking the time,
of course,
sitting down with me. It was a pleasure sitting down with you, and I look forward to seeing what you do next. Yeah,
look, I think a lot of people are gonna be interested. What's the next move? I gotta figure some things out.
You'll bounce back though.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Let's just say that. I won't give away too much.
Gotcha. Well, alright everyone. Till next time. We out.